won here in 2009, 2012 with McLaren. It was also his first race in Formula 1 back in 2000, and the pair of them sat down on Thursday.
Well, Jensen, they are 36 years old. I was 36 when I won my first championship. You've already got one in the bag. This is now your 17th season you're about to embark on. Do you feel like you've run out of steam, or is there still more to come?
Good question. Definitely more to come. You know, I wouldn't be here if I thought that I didn't have a place here in Formula 1. So, no, it's been a long career, but that time flies by. It really does. You know, I've driven 3 Formula 1 cars before I was 20 years old. So, that was a long time ago, almost half my life ago. So, yeah, I've learned so much over the years. I'm still enjoying driving a car, even though not as much fun as they used to be. I still enjoy driving a car, and I don't think there's anyone else good enough to replace me.
They had a terrible year last season with McLaren and Honda. There's some hope on the horizon, I believe, for this year.
Yeah.
But winning a championship really is that's a long way off, isn't it?
Yeah, it is at the moment. Yeah, I think if you look at winch testing, which is always very difficult, we've definitely made improvements. The deployment is so much better than it was last year. You know, we were losing at long circuits sort of 0.6 a lap in the race. The power unit itself is a bit better, but still we need a lot of improvements in that area. Aerodynamically we've improved, but we're still, I think, behind. So there's a lot of areas we understand where we're weak and where we need to improve, which is good. But it's never the easiest way to start a season knowing that. So it's going to be a tough few races, but we will improve, I think, a lot this year. But no, we won't be winning races this year. I think if every driver goes into the championship thinking he's going to win a race, he's not a very intelligent driver. You know, I think that you need to understand the limits of where you are. You're obviously going to get the best out of the package you have, but you have to be realistic.
The thing about you, James, is you're a personable guy. People like you. You're very affable. But to get another championship, you're going to have to make it clear that you're hungry.
I don't need to make it clear to anyone except for myself. You know, I think if you can't be a different person out of the car, that's a weakness. You know, I personally feel that when you get in the car, you are a certain type of person. You give it your all, you give it your maximum, and I feel that there's no one better than me at doing that through a race weekend.
You came very close last year to getting a job, it sounds like, and doing a famous car show on television. It sounds like that came quite close to reality. And what did you do to convince Ron that you really were key and hungry for another crack at it?
I was obviously in talks, you know, about TV shows, and it wasn't me telling Ron, you know, you need to give me a drive. You know, it was a mutual thing, and I needed to be shown by the team and by Ron that it was worth continuing. It was that way around, very different to the previous year. So I need to make sure that the team were focused. We had a direction, and they did need to prove that to me. And Ron will also say the same, that they did prove it to me, that they were hungry. They had the resources to achieve in the future. Honda were hungry and were not going to give up. And that's what kept me here for another year and possibly other years in the future.
But we're coming to a new season. Ferrari versus Mercedes. Can you tell us anything about how you see that panning out?
I think that Ferrari are a little bit closer. I think it's always so difficult to see in winch testing in terms of what fuel people are running, low fuel. High fuel runs, I think, is the most interesting. Ferrari seem to be very close to Mercedes, so they could be a good fight there.
Do you think the end of season form from Nico is something that should worry Lewis?
If he doesn't think about it, it won't worry Lewis. But if he's asked about it, of course it's going to affect you because you think about it more. And Lewis knows how good he is, very talented, and he is in a great place, I'm sure, with winning back-to-back championships. But if that's put into his mind that Lewis didn't win any of the last few races and Nico was on a roll, possibly it could. But we'll have to wait and see.
But you sound like an F1 expert analyst to me, so you seem to know what you're talking about. Excellent, thanks a lot, George. Cheers, mate.
Well, Eric, P11 and P12